surface, catching what little light remains. Pulling her faded blue coat tighter against the chill, Evelyn listens as distant church bells toll the hour, their eerie chimes echoing through the silent streets. The sound sends a shiver down her spine, breaking the unsettling calm. From the shadowed street, Marcus emerges, his tall frame casting a long silhouette. The pale light glints off the deep scar on his cheek as he approaches, holding out an old locket with faded engravings to Evelyn. Suddenly, Nora appears, clutching a small wooden box tightly, her young face mixed with fear and fierce determination. Her presence adds a new energy to the uneasy reunion beneath the flickering candlelight within the chapel. The trio huddles close, exchanging hurried whispers about the hollow entity, the shadowy figure blamed for the village's recent disappearances. Each word weighs heavy as they share their knowledge of the relentless force haunting them. Inside the chapel, the cracked mirror's surface begins to flicker unnaturally, revealing fleeting shapes that do not belong. The candlelight dances wildly, casting trembling shadows that bring the room alive with menace. Evelyn strikes a match, lighting a single candle whose flame immediately starts to flicker and sway as if fighting to remain lit. The clock tower's bells ring out again, signaling an ominous moment as the atmosphere tightens around them. Marcus opens a worn journal discovered among the ruins. Its pages describe a dangerous ritual designed to confront the entity, but warn of grave risks involved. The weight of their task settles heavily on their shoulders. With hesitation, Nora hands over her wooden box, explaining in a hushed voice that it contains a charm, a relic passed down through generations of her family. The charm might be their only hope against the darkness that awaits. Resolute, they agree to venture into the forest at nightfall, knowing the entity's presence intensifies there. Evelyn leads the way, the flickering candle a fragile guide through the encroaching gloom. The trio moves cautiously among the twisted, gnarled trees, shadows curling and stretching in unnatural ways around them. Each step forward heightens the tension as the forest seems to close in, alive with unseen eyes. A sudden, chilling whisper brushes past their ears, causing Nora to tremble violently, her grip tightening on the wooden box. The sound seems to mock their resolve, a reminder of the malevolent force trailing them. Marcus swiftly draws a small blade from beneath his coat and signals for absolute silence. From just behind them, faint footsteps echo softly, each step deepening the dread surrounding their fragile group. Evelyn catches a brief glimpse of glowing eyes reflected in a broken shard on the forest floor. The realization strikes them all: the entity is dangerously close, its presence palpable and threatening. The church bells toll one final time, their somber notes hanging in the air before silence falls. This last toll signals the dire stakes. Failure means being consumed by the hollow, lost forever in its merciless grasp. Ghostly cries carry through the night, believed to be the trapped souls lured by the entity's sinister siren call. The mournful sounds chill the trio to their core, fueling both fear and determination. Nora slowly opens the wooden box to reveal an amulet, emitting a cold, eerie blue light that pushes back the enveloping darkness. The faint glow offers a fragile beacon of hope amidst the encroaching shadows. Marcus begins to recite the ritual from the journal, his voice trembling as an unpredictable wind howls through the trees. His words falter, challenged by the rising power of the forest and the entity's presence. Without warning, Evelyn's candle flickers violently before extinguishing completely, plunging them into near-total darkness. Only the amulet's chilling light remains, a solitary shield against the surrounding void. Shadows gather and twist until they form a humanoid silhouette with shifting, haunting features and faintly glowing eyes. The entity has revealed itself, its looming form both terrifying and mesmerizing. The hollow voice of the entity echoes around them, tempting the trio to abandon their quest and flee the cursed village. Its words drip with cunning malice, aiming to break their spirits and resolve. Steeling herself, Evelyn relights her candle using the amulet's glow, the flame flickering but holding strong. The brief flare of light weakens the entity momentarily, offering a slender chance to press on. Marcus steps forward, clutching the locket tightly as he invokes a name from the journal, an ancient word meant to bind the dark presence. His determination is clear, though the air cracks with tension and uncertainty. The entity recoils briefly, but quickly shifts tactics, morphing into haunting figures from each of their pasts. By exploiting their deepest fears, it seeks to unravel their unity and resolve. Nora struggles visibly as the entity takes the form of her lost brother, pleading for her to release her grip on the wooden box. Her conflict is palpable, torn between grief and the necessity of their mission. Evelyn's gaze flickers repeatedly as she catches fleeting glimpses of her reflection in the cracked mirror, which now pulses faintly with a reddish glow. The distorted image unsettles her, as if the mirror holds memories or warnings beyond its fractured surface. Suddenly, the mirror shatters violently, but instead of crashing to the floor, its sharp fragments remain suspended midair as if held by an invisible force. The flickering candlelight casts eerie shadows that dance around the floating shards, heightening the cryptic atmosphere. Among the suspended fragments, one reflects a hidden passage beneath the chapel that had previously gone unnoticed. This glimpse into the underground world appears only through the broken glass shards, suggesting a portal forged by shattered realities. Marcus, bruised but resolute, leads the trio toward the concealed entrance beneath the chapel. He clutches his worn journal tightly, and the old locket around his neck glints faintly in the dim light, anchoring their uncertain path forward. As they descend into the damp underground crypt, the amulet's light flickers erratically, uncertain amidst the oppressive darkness. The walls are carved with ancient symbols, their meanings lost to time but heavy with foreboding significance. A faint chanting echoes softly from deeper within the crypt, its ethereal tones pulsing rhythmically and hinting at the source of the hollow entity's dark powers. The sound swells as they approach, drawing them inexorably toward the heart of the crypt's mysteries. They encounter grotesque, twisted statues resembling long-gone villagers, their distorted features frozen in eternal warning. A shared unease settles over them as they realize that time itself behaves strangely in this subterranean realm, warping their sense of past and present. Without warning, the entity materializes again, its form dissolving into swirling darkness that lashes out to extinguish their flickering resolve. Shadows ripple as it attacks, threatening to swallow their courage along with the faint candlelight. Nora, clutching her wooden box tightly, steps forward and releases a sudden burst of blue light that momentarily drives the entity back. Her steadfast grip on the box brings a fragile but vital reprieve, turning the tide against the encroaching darkness. Evelyn, drawing strength from Nora's light, recites phrases from the journal with steady, determined voice. She lights candles embedded in the crypt walls, arranging them carefully to form a protective circle that gleams against encroaching shadows. The entity's agitation grows palpable as it distorts the crypt's flickering shadows into grotesque and horrifying shapes, writhing like living nightmares. Its desperation fuels the darkness, intending to break through their defenses and extinguish their hope. Marcus takes the locket and angles it to catch the candle flames, reflecting beams into the crypt's darkest corners. This reveals a hidden altar nestled beneath the base of a twisted statue, its presence previously veiled by shadow. They place the amulet on the mysterious altar, and Nora's wooden box begins to hum softly in response, reacting to the crypt's ancient energies. The interconnectedness of their talismans pulsates faintly, signaling an alignment with the ritual's power. The chanting surges louder, and Evelyn identifies it as a binding prayer designed to imprison the entity forever within the crypt. Their voices join in solemn unison, beginning the sacred verses that will seal away the darkness once and for all. As the prayer begins, the hollow entity manifests fully, shrieking in a blend of rage and despair that reverberates through the cold stone. Its glowing eyes burn fiercely, threatening to unravel their combined efforts. Shards of the cracked mirror begin to reassemble midair around the altar, swirling together in a mesmerizing vortex of shifting light and shadow. The chaotic dance of fragments seems to bind the crypt's energy into a swirling prison for the entity. Marcus steps forward to complete the ritual, but an unseen force violently pushes him back, interrupting his advance. He stumbles but holds firm, clutching the locket tightly as if it might protect him from the unseen menace. Nora sacrifices the remaining power of the amulet, unleashing a shimmering shield that envelops Marcus and halts the unseen force's attack. The effort visibly drains her energy, yet her resolve shines bright despite the weakening aura around her. With Nora's sacrifice bought, Evelyn recites the final verse alone, her voice steady against the entity's writhing resistance within the vortex. The entity's glowing eyes dim slowly as it recoils within the binding spell's unyielding grip. With a deafening crack, the vortex collapses inward, and silence envelops the crypt once more. Only the gentle, soft flicker of candlelight remains, marking the end of the entity's menacing presence for now. They ascend from the crypt into the night air, and outside the old church, the bells resume their steady tolling at midnight. The once ominous sound is now calm and inviting, a promising sign of peace restored. Nora opens her wooden box one final time, revealing a small seed emitting a faint, gentle glow. It symbolizes new beginnings and growth after the long darkness that had gripped their lives. Evelyn touches one of the cracked mirrors, remaining dull fragments, now harmless and cold to the touch. A profound sense of closure washes over her, as if the echoes of the past have finally quieted. Marcus removes the old locket and hands it to Evelyn, a token of their shared victory and mutual protection. The gesture seals their bond, forged through hardship and triumph. The village is bathed in the soft light of early dawn, shadows retreating as nature slowly reclaims the silent spaces once haunted by darkness. Hope stirs gently among the empty streets, promising renewal just beyond the horizon. Evelyn's sharp eyes glinted as she explained, "The ritual didn't destroy the entity. Instead, it trapped it within the shards of the cracked mirror, scattered throughout the crypt." The flickering candlelight cast uneasy shadows on her faded blue coat as the distant church bells tolled midnight. Nora, clutching her small wooden box tightly, vowed, "I will guard the seed that now holds the essence of our village's spirit and hope." Her curious expression showed determination against the lingering darkness. Marcus, the scar on his right cheek catching the faint glow, nodded firmly, "I'll stay and help restore the village." His resolve marked an end to their wandering and struggle, a new beginning for them all. Together they discovered that the church bells, once twisted by dark influence, now rang clear and true, able to call for aid instead of spreading fear. The sound resonated through the night, a beacon of hope. The trio planted the seed beneath the chapel ruins. Almost instantly, grass and vibrant flowers began to bloom rapidly, enveloping the ancient stones with life and promise. Evelyn stood quietly, reflecting on the sacrifices made. The fragile peace they'd won together felt like a delicate flame, one they must protect at all costs. With great care, Nora locked the broken mirror shards inside her wooden box, securing the remnants of the entity's power. The candlelight flickered again, as if acknowledging her solemn task. Marcus opened the worn journal and wrote a new entry, chronicling the true story to warn future generations. The old locket at his neck caught the candlelight, a silent witness to their journey. As twilight enveloped the village, soft candlelight flickered through windows, a silent remembrance of the horrors they had endured. The distant church bells rang quietly, their sound now gentle and protective. The camera lingered on the blooming seed beneath the chapel ruins, vibrant and alive. A gentle breeze stirred the flowers as the fading echoes of the hollow drifted away,